So this is our deck dinner today. I've separated the layers so that you can see. You could mix it all together if you want, but I don't. So I baked up some spaghetti squash, and while I was doing that, I roasted some yams and potatoes and something else. Anyway, oh, the kale nuggets. I cooked up those at the same time. So anyway, in the oven. And so this is the rice with the, at the same time I was making rice. And so it's brown rice cooked up with salsa or salsa ingredients. So like whatever you would put in salsa, you can cook it up in there. So then black beans, and this is corn, and then on top of it I put avocado and pumpkin seeds for James. Now for mine, I don't have the avocado, and I didn't put the potato or the what do you call them, tomatoes, but it's the same sort of dish. And I forgot to bring cheese out for James. Oh well, I was gonna, but I forgot. But I brought him a cheese bun, so that's all right. Boy, it might be even too warm for me to wear this sweater out here, actually. Oh, and you're probably wondering what this bowl is. This is what the fly is most excited about. It's, I made potato salad for the dogs. Or, well, sort of potato salad. Chicken potato salad. So it's, I roasted up potatoes on the bottom layer and then put yams on top. Then covered it in the oven, and so most of the potatoes are going for the dogs, and then I chopped that up and I mixed it with, you know, it's funny, well, I mixed it with mayonnaise and chicken, canned chicken. So now I had, and this is honey mustard in here for the kale nuggets for James. Now while I was at the food bank today, there was this guy who was obviously new to it, and he seemed very excited. And because it's very exciting getting food, and it is for me anyway. So he saw the tub in, you're allowed to take one item out of the, well, sometimes more, but I don't know. I certainly didn't want more of this, but anyway, you're allowed to take one item of out of the cooler, the fridge area there, and so, sometimes lately there's been nothing in there, but today there was something. There was a tub, I don't know, this big around and this tall maybe, of, like, huge, of mayonnaise. And the guy asked me, excuse me, what is that? And I'm like, I don't know, like, I guess I didn't know at the time. I said, but you're allowed to take one. And he said, milk? And I said, I don't know, but I was thinking, I have never once got milk here, so not milk, but why spoil the surprise for him? So mayonnaise. So once I got it home, I'm like, mayonnaise, and James is like, oh, what are we gonna do with it? And I said, well, I'm gonna try making some chicken salad for the dogs. So we'll see if they like that. Mixed chicken with anything, they'll probably be happy. I might have to take them running off the calories for a while, but anyway, now I'm gonna have a hard time keeping this fly away from the food. It's the problem. When I like being outside, so does the rest of nature, right? But anyway, I have read this book, and I really enjoyed it, but there's a few things that I wanted to mention about it. Like in my review of it, which I think I'm actually going to put this video at the end of the Nietzsche thing, which, so, boy, that fly, so bad. And so if you want to hear more about this book, you'll actually have to tune in to the next lecture, which it has something to do, or the next post, which this is relevant to. So anyway, so it's just a little preview here. But what I was going to mention about this, well, I'll read about the author. Dr. Nicole Redvers is the first licensed practicing naturopathic doctor in North America who is Dene, member of the Deninu-Kiu First Nation band. After growing up in Canada's isolated north, she pursued an advanced Western medical education in the south and has had the privilege of developing relationships with strong elders and medicine people. She has traveled the globe studying traditional medicine systems in various countries and working with Indigenous patients, helping to bridge the gap between traditional and modern medical systems. In addition, Redvers developed Northern Canada's only integrative medical clinic from the ground up. So anyway, it goes on, and she's quite awesome. And her book was well written, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. But I will say a few things about it. So I just quickly, I won't be talking much about it because I've already talked about it. But what I'm going to say is, she mentions antibiotic misuse by humans a lot, especially in different countries, like where they'll take it rather than something else, which it doesn't even, they'll take it for something that's not going to help them out, not going to treat the problem. But anyway, so that's not why there's antibiotic resistant bacteria popping up all over. That's not why we have superbugs here. If you look into it, it is because of the agriculture system that we have in place, intensive livestock agriculture. So when you have a whole bunch of animals in a really small area, they're going to catch illnesses more frequently than if they're spread out. And if they're under stress, they're going to catch illnesses even more frequently. It just makes sense. She doesn't mention it at all. And I have found this to be the case
See, that book isn't that good.
No, it is good.
See? Oh, is it? Okay. Okay. Anyway, I'll put that there. It's just going to get blown down again. Not as windy as I thought it would be, but it's still fairly.
It's still fairly windy. It was windier earlier, and I thought, am I going to be able to do a deck dinner? Anyway. I'll put my water there to help hold it up. We'll see if that works out.
You might smell the water too.
You might smell the water too.
Let's see. But it's outdoors, so.
I found this to be the case with a Canadian specialist who should know better. Like with her, maybe it's not exactly her field, but she should know better too. And I will tell you why I think she is avoiding talking about the real problem, the real cause of the superbugs in Canada, because she talks about it in her book. She says if a person has an ancestral kind of diet of, she gives an example of Chinese people. She says if somebody moves from China into Italy, they're still better off with a Chinese diet than an Italian one. And she's been traveling the globe, all over the world, and she, being Inuit, she eats loads and loads of meat. And that's her ancestral diet. And she wants to eat loads and loads of meat wherever she goes. And so she doesn't want to bring up the real problem of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, because if you're way up north, they don't have intensive livestock operations up there. They don't have enough people to warrant having those anywhere. They can go out and get as much fish or caribou, whatever, as they need, and they can live that way. When you come down, too many people. There's way too many people everywhere here. And so in order to satisfy people's desire to eat meat, they're having to raise them in intensive systems where they're way too crowded, and they're getting superbugs are popping up, loads and loads of them. So that's the problem. If you want to eat loads of meat, head up north, go out and hunt, and that should work out just fine for you. Otherwise, we're running into a lot of health problems, serious health problems that pose to wipe out civilization as we know it. Honestly, it's serious, and people are not taking it seriously enough, and people who should know better are not even bringing it up. They're not mentioning it. It's a serious issue. So that's what I have to say about that. Other than that, it's an excellent book, and I think she did a great job.